All right, so today we are going to be discussing throttle control, or just being stable on your throttle, right? What I mean by throttle control isn't just using your throttle, it's being smooth. I'm gonna throw that up here in smaller letters, on the throttle. That's what I consider to be true throttle control. I'm just gonna throw control up here because throttle control is kind of the discussion here, but we're gonna dive into it on the 2015 Yamaha FZ07 here and just discuss throttle control. I'm gonna show you first person on the bike, kind of while doing wheelies and things like that, some tips and tricks. But having a smooth throttle is extremely important in your wheelie. Rear brake is even more important. I have some videos on that. I also have an entire wheelie course in the description below if you would like to check that out. It's gonna walk you through wheelies through like 8 lessons or so, and we're gonna dive into all these things. But for this video, I'm gonna hop out on the bike and show you guys how to be smooth on the throttle and why it is so important. Because if you are not smooth on the throttle, wheelies are going to be a challenge from the jump. While you're learning, it's very common to not be smooth on the throttle. It's a learning curve. But we are gonna get there, and we're gonna go out on the bike. I want you guys to find a private road that you have permission to use, no traffic, and I want you to wear full gear. You can do what you want, right? You're a grown adult, I hope. But for me, I just like to keep it safe and keep it legal. For you guys, any of you that want to listen to music or talk to friends while riding, cardosystems.com, use code School of Wheelie, 10% off. I have the Cardo Edge, I love it. I'll never go to anything else. I've used it my whole riding career. But I'm gonna fire up the FZ07. I'm gonna gear up. We're gonna go out and I'm gonna show you some first-person views on the GoPro and the FZ07, what I do with throttle control, and how we keep it nice and smooth during a wheelie. All right, we are out on the FZ07 now, and as we discussed, we are talking about throttle control today and how important it is to learn how to keep your throttle hand steady. We obviously have our rear foot brake, which we cover in lessons and other videos about how important that is, but really the steady throttle hand plays a huge part in a good, solid wheelie. If you really want to dive into all these fundamentals from lesson format and hours of footage, I do have an entire wheelie course in the description. Go check it out. Highly recommend it. By the time you're done with it, you'll be able to wheelie, and it's the best feeling in the world. So definitely check that out. But for this video, again, we are just going to be discussing throttle control and maybe some ideas on how to keep your throttle hand a little more stable during a wheelie, because I'll give you some examples, but a lot of times when we are wheeling, even if we've been doing it for a while, or especially if we're just learning, we're very choppy on the throttle, like this, right? When we're in a wheelie, we're like kind of like this. Now imagine that going on one wheel. It just throws you around. It's really not that great. So again, it just kind of highlights the importance of keeping it smooth. I mean, you can see the difference here from what I just did versus right now. I'm just rolling on and off. Very probably hard to tell, minor, right? You can't even see my hand moving versus like this. I mean, you can see the absolute carnage that's going on when you're on your bike. You need to keep this hand stable, steady, and smooth, because the more smooth your throttle hand is in a wheelie, the easier it's going to be to keep it under control, especially when you pair it up with your rear foot brake, right? Right now I'm rolling on and off, minor adjustments while using the foot brake as well to hold the wheel stable, just like that. Those are it's an extremely important principle. Rear foot brake, I pretty much always say, is number one. But man, oh man, if you don't have a smooth throttle hand or you don't work on that, wheelies are gonna be an uphill battle. And then if you really struggle with your rear brake too, it's gonna be tricky, right? But it's also okay if you struggle with it. That's why we're here, we're trying to learn. We're trying to figure it out. So, but just get it in your head how important it is. So again, let me give you an example of if we're gonna be choppy on the throttle. This is actually gonna be, this is gonna be fun. I haven't done this in a while, right? We're gonna purposefully chop this thing. I mean, that's a pretty good example of chasing it and chopping it. It actually makes me nervous trying to do it. Let's do it one more time, but go a little higher. I mean, you can see it's not sustainable, and that was all throttle chop, right? Like now let's do the difference of working on keeping our throttle smooth. Let's see here. I mean, you can see again, I understand. I'm sure you all understand the importance of this. It's easier said than done. I'm just trying to give you a visual of the difference of why it's so important. Like now let's do first gear, smooth throttle hand. See, with not much brake input either, just minor. You can barely see my hand moving. So, I mean, some ideas you can try to incorporate smoother throttle is, like I said, ride in first gear, get your RPMs up a little bit, and feel the difference when you close. See how aggressive that is to stop, especially when we're mid RPMs or above, or when you open. I mean, it's gonna throw you around, right? So like, it might sound simple, and it is, but like, get up in your RPMs in first gear, just ride on 2 wheels and make minor adjustments with your hand and feel the reaction consciously, right? And most of us don't ever do this. Consciously feel how your engine reacts to those minor movements. You can't even see my hand moving, but it's moving. And then that'll give you an idea. It's essentially going to play out the exact same way in a wheelie, depending on where the RPMs are, but it's gonna be almost exactly the same. So if you can get conscious, fully conscious, most of us just ride around, right? Shifting through the gears, don't think much about it, second nature. But the minute you start doing a wheelie, all of a sudden your throttle ain't so much second nature. It starts getting choppy. So again, let's try to get back to the basics and be aware. Be aware of that throttle hand while we're riding on 2 wheels, right? Feel the difference, the super minute movements that make a difference. Because then once you're done, or I'm sorry, once you get really aware of that, once you throw the wheel in the air, I mean, it's the same difference, right? We hit a big old bump there. I love that bump on this road. But it's a big difference once you're aware of that, because then once you're throwing it up on 1 wheel, you kind of just practice doing the same thing. Just keep the throttle smooth. It doesn't mean you're going to always be perfect at it, that's for sure, but the goal is to just be aware of it. You be aware of that throttle hand and you pair it with your rear brake, you're going to be doing pretty good in your wheelies, right? You'll be doing good. So again, guys, a pretty straightforward video. I just wanted to bring that to your attention, how important it is. A lot of people overthink it and just think it'll come naturally later. It kind of will with repetition, but just be a little more aware of it. It is very, very important. And again, if you want to dive really deep into learning how to wheel your motorcycle, link is in the description for the wheelie course. You'll definitely be wheeling if you get all the way through that. It's a lot of fun. But thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you guys next time.